Looks like it's going to be another one of these kind of videos today. Compiling shaders for the past 3 hours. Why am I having this problem on a $500 processor? I shouldn't be. It's ridiculous. I've had this kind of problem before I got the 6700K. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. And I've deleted the derived data cache because that's a common issue. But every time I change like a mesh, or every time I paint on the landscape, or every time I open up a new map, it recompiles. And it's ridiculous. How are you supposed to work like that? I'd planned to do some VR development today. Actually, in VR. I was going to make the entire town in VR. But, I can't do that if I've been compiling materials for the last 3 hours. Well, I think I fixed the problems with the shaders compiling. So that's good news. Behind me here is a sneak preview of tomorrow's video. I'm working on the town thing for the VR project. I've been having some problems with the VR editor. The original plan was to design the whole thing in VR, but I'm having problems with the editor. Sometimes I do realize that part of the problem is the large scale that I set my projects at. But I don't know how to make small things. I've tried and they always just explode. Oh well. Wow, this video looks bad at nighttime. So I'm downtown right now. Just tried Korean food. It was not good. Not good at all. I guess this has turned into more like a Dev Days kind of video. So I'm back home now. And while I was out, I was thinking about how to solve the problem of an inventory in VR. I thought about my original question of you can't really have a chest or something because you can't fit, a bunch of different things in there. But what if even if you could, that doesn't solve the problem of sorting an inventory like we do in menus, armor, weapons, whatever. But what if you could have physical representations of those? So, for instance, you would have a chest for just armor, and a chest for just weapons, and you could only carry what you could fit inside of those. And you could press a button on the controller to summon those around the player, like kind of a magical type thing. It's an interesting idea. I don't know if I could be able to pull that off, but it's an interesting thought. I wonder if I've been obsessing over VR a little too much. I mean, it's amazing technology, obviously, but there still is the issue of adoption. I mean, sure, the Valve Index headsets are selling crazy, so much so that they've been delayed for months, or sold out, more say, for months. But that still doesn't. There's not a lot of owners of VR headsets in comparison to everything else. There's also a lot of problems with VR development. It's harder. It's harder than normal game development. Not that normal game development or any game development's easy, because it's not. But it's harder. It's much harder from what I've found so far. It does make me question, though, what's going to happen to consumer VR if it doesn't take off within the next few years? I still think we're in a safety period that it's not going to go anywhere for a few years. I mean, it's still relatively new. I mean, the HTC Vive came out in 2016? That's not that long ago. It takes time for technology to trickle down from the higher up to the low. I mean, I was able to afford one, and I don't make that much. Then again, it was a development expense for me, I guess. So, that's different. There's a lot of hate around VR sometimes, too. There's a lot of hit piece style articles, talking about how VR is dead, VR is dead, VR is dead, repeatedly, which is, I think it's nonsense. And there's movies like Ready Player One that really make me excited for what the possibilities of VR in the future are. That movie, well, I think is amazing. It gets a lot of hate, especially on Twitter among game devs, which is surprising. I don't quite understand why either. I've seen some complaints about how, they throw in all kinds of brands and, like different game pop culture references, stuff like that. But, I mean, if the Oasis existed, wouldn't the players in it fill it with things they love if you could create and have anything? I mean, I know that if the Oasis was real, my player avatar would be Uriel Septim the Seventh with a Halo energy sword. Why not? VR is supposed to be about taking you to another place. It's supposed to be escapism. It's supposed to be fun. And it's limitless. Limited only by creativity more so. I mean, of course, there's hardware limitations. And they'll be there for a while, but it's almost magical. Anyway, consider liking and subscribing if you want to see more videos like this or development stuff, whatever. I'll see you tomorrow.